So the first thing that we're seeing then about the church is that the church is made up of a group of unlike people. And we spoke about this in depth last week, that the church, as Paul talks about it, is supposed to be made up of people who don't all look like each other, don't all talk like each other, who come from very different walks of life, very different backgrounds, that's the church. So now that we've seen that, I want to take a moment and pause and talk about, well, what's this mean for us today? What's this mean for us? What's this mean for our church today? And I want to make a quick observation about what this text tells us about unity and about how disunity comes into a group of people. And I think the immediate thing that we see is that the first sign of disunity among a group of people is when you start to group people together. Is when we start to group people together. Because that's what's going on here, right? The Jews didn't think of the Gentiles as, oh, that's John the Gentile, that's Sally the Gentile. The Jews just said, those Gentiles, that group of people over there, we don't associate with them. And what that teaches us is it's the same today. Some things have changed in 2,000 years, some things haven't. Human nature hasn't. One of the things that hasn't changed. And we still today are constantly tempted, even here in this church, to divide people into groups and say, this is my group, and I'm not going to associate with that group. And there's a million different ways this could happen. A lot of different ways this could happen. You could think that's the group of the wealthy people, the good-to-do people. I don't know how you might group people in your head, but I do know that one of the challenges for our church as we grow that I want to speak directly to, that I've spoken on before, is that it is going to be really easy for you all as we grow to start to very subtly, you won't know that you're doing it, but to very subtly start to divide in your head the older people who have been here a long time, the established people of this church, and the new people. And that's going to be really easy to do, really easy for all of us to do. And I just want to encourage us this morning, before we're even at the point where we really have to be thinking about this. This is going to happen. We are going to start to grow. There are going to start to be some new families. And I just want to challenge us. Let us not be a church where people walk in and feel that sense of division. Let us not be a church where people walk in and feel like they can only participate so much in the life of the church because they're one of the new people. And they haven't been here for years and years. And they don't have all the history of the church. That's not a church, friends. And I pray, and I hope you'll join me in praying and pleading that we will not be that kind of church, because nobody needs that kind of church. And nobody wants to be a part of that kind of church. And Paul says that kind of church isn't a church at all.